Yo, what's up? I've been playing a lot of Apogea. I didn't get to play playtest 1, so I've been doing a lot of catch up in playtest 2, involving the mid game. But lately, I've been kind of interested in some routing, and particularly mage routing, because mage is really bad early on. But there's some items we can get on the way that will definitely help our transition at around like level 10 or 12. Uh, the mana neck and the bandit tower is one of them, and especially this blue magic orb on this shipwreck that I don't see a lot of people talk about. It's just a free orb. You do have to die, but it's gonna save you like at least or around 500 gold, which is the cost to buy it from a vendor. So, yep, let's just get started here. And if you're looking for more of a comprehensive guide on like 1 to 10, I would definitely check out Toddfather's routing video. Very good 1 to 10 night focused route, but pretty much everything he does in that video is very relevant to us as well. So I'm just going to go down here, grab the torch. Not super important, you can definitely skip this, but I just find there's sometimes I'm in the dark, and I'm like, man, I wish I had a torch right now. So I just grab it, it's really quick, and then I'm going to grab the shield here. This one's really good because we're going to be doing some stuff early on that we're just going to get hit a lot, and the shield helps mitigate that quite a bit. Take a random ghoul hit there, but it's fine. And what we're going to do here is actually run to the bandit tower and suicide for the deck. You don't have to do this, especially when either the game comes out or if there's another playtest. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people there either farming the bandit. Well, they probably won't be farming the bandits early on, but if you roll around there later, there'll just be a ton of people there, and I'm sure you'll have no trouble. If you want the necklace earlier, I probably would just go get it level 1 and die. There's also some old gloves in the bottom of the tower that you can either use at some point or just sell to someone who's either doesn't know the gloves are there or is too lazy to run up here or is trying to upgrade their gloves. You'll always be able to sell some gloves, so it's a little bit of a bonus incentive. So I'm just running up here. It looks like this isn't too cleared, which is honestly good because if you do run up here while you're not farming bandits, well, if you're doing this at level 1, you definitely want to die because the run back is just going to take longer. So we grab those gloves there. Oh no, someone is killing the thug up top, so... Maybe I can die to these bandits down here real quick. But normally there's 3 mobs up here and you would die pretty quickly. You just click the chest and then die. Let's let these guys kill us. Unfortunately, this guy taunted. I don't think he knows my plan here. Let's hit this rat, let it kill me. Alright, and we're gonna go back to the church. Usually that does not take that long. You'll just die to the mobs at the top, like I said. But I didn't feel like running back, and also kind of wanted to display how the run would go. And then I'm gonna run over here to Sabrina. grab her quest. This is a quest where all the steps are pretty much on the way. So I go ahead and grab this. It gives a decent amount of XP, and we will be back around this area at points anyways, so might as well just grab her quest. And now we're going to head to the construction area and proceed with kind of the usual questing route. Make our way to Thibble. And all these people, you can just say quest yes as fast as you can type, and then just start running away. Probably good to spell it right. We're going to head upstairs around here. This guy we're going to say Baldwin to. And I'm going to try not to put too many points outside of some capacity and health. Right now, trait and stat point respecs are free. But when the game comes out, unless they give us more, you're only going to get one free one. So we're not sure how much those are going to cost. So I'm just going to do kind of a light stat allocation run. Say quest to Baldwin. And we're going to go up here for the guard's lunch. And mage, if you plan on going mage, especially if you want to try it at level 6 or so, which I don't recommend, it's playable. It's just very bad. Borderline unplayable. The main problem is, even if you have some of this decent starting gear we're going to get, you scale a lot off your stat points and traits, which we're not going to have a lot of. And we're going to click that for the key and go up here. So while you can go at level 6, and also you're going to burn through a lot of food just for the MP regen. So you're going to kind of waste a lot of food early when you could just be Squire, killing things even faster than you would be if you were a mage, and having very good regen. So unless you are really committed to the roleplay, I would just not go mage until around 10 to 12. I'm just gonna turn these in. Oh, and I forgot to get the ore in Baldwin's room. So we're gonna run up here, get this. And once you are mage, around level 10 to 12, every 2 levels, mage gets much stronger. Just due to how powerful the trait points are for us. And then, especially once you're 24, you are just starting to absolutely annihilate mobs. So as much as you're willing to delay just hitting some mobs, I'd probably be mage by 12, because you can grind quite well. And we're going to talk to Rubius, get his quest. I think a lot of my test runs that I went to like around 10 to 12, I could farm the sand snakes though they were a little difficult, you just have to be sure to dodge, and you're fine. And we're heading to Razabar right now. And we're going to talk to Elsie and get the White Rat questline. This questline takes up a lot of time running back and forth, but the gold and XP you get from it are very good. If you're like no XP in the 5, it will get you to level 6 when you turn in the last part. So very good XP. We're going to head downstairs and talk to Guy. If you don't see him, he is probably up here. We're going to say book. We're going to get this ingot. Go to his rat. And his rat, you can just say good and then cheese. I'll light it up so people can see this. And then you're going to get this chest here for the leather bassinet. And then head back to Guy and say key. And then we're heading back to Rubius to turn in the quest. And I'll go ahead and I'm gonna throw a point into magic so we can learn the dash book when we pick it up. And just the rest of the capacity and health, which you're fine to put some points into in mage if you're planning on not doing a stat reset. Though I would plan on doing a trait reset, kind of no matter what. Unless the true damage node is nerfed, it's just too good for your farming time that it would definitely just be worth it to use a trait respec and then deal with the consequences later. Say book. And you can learn the dash spell. Won't be able to use this for a while, but it's fine. Then we're going to head to Hildegard and get her quest. Which she does disappear at an odd time of night. I'm not sure what time of day the quest will be, or what time of day the servers will have when like the real game comes out. So maybe something you have to deal with. Just go in there, grab the chest, and wrap around. Head down here to the sewer. Grab this chest, and head out. And then we're gonna go talk to Wilfred. Say Elsie. Yes. And then back to Hildegard to turn in the quest. And there is a bit of tech you could do at level 4, depending on how the trait reset situation is looking like. If they give us a bunch of free trait resets, or the cost is just inconsequential enough to you that you don't care about using one, there is a trait you can go right now. You go cozy and useful into Lightfoot. Lightfoot gives you 1 move speed for 35 capacity you have available. So as long as you have 105 available capacity, you'll have 3 move speed, which is quite a lot. You'll notice a difference. You'll be much faster. You'll probably have to hit up the depot more often and just throw like all your stuff and even maybe some money in there. But if there's a bunch of trait resets or you don't care, it could be worth it for these early levels to get even further ahead. And talk to Hester, say quest yes. And then Dewey to do the cooking quest, we're gonna say cook yes. And then the chef you can just say yes to each time. And then put the bread down, hover the cheese over and press 1 so it only puts 1 onto the item instead of the whole stack. Say yes again. Hold down, dough down, apple. You say yes. Put the knife and then cut the fish. Put it in your hand and then cook it. And say yes. Go ahead and cook the other one. Put the bowl in your hand and fill it with water. And then just put it down, hover the fish and press 1 again. And we are done. And I'm just going to throw these books away. No reason to keep them. Put your weapon back on. And we're heading over here to talk to the guy for the Sabrina quest. It's, like I said, this is just like on the way. It gives a little bit of XP. We're just going to say book to him and then leave out the back. There's a chest in his room actually that has a, I believe it's some lamb meat, which you can grab and just like make a sandwich or something. It's pretty good. Just gonna head to the Sentinel Tower. To Brannigan, say quest yes. Quest yes, yes. I have to say yes twice to him. We're gonna head this way and go over this bridge. And some of these, like, bridges and terrain fixtures could change. I heard they did a lot of that between, or maybe not a lot, but a bit of that between playtest 1 and 2. So, for the most part, the main items should likely remain in the same spot. But some of the small stuff could change. And then the rope chest is right here. Just gonna auto path to it and then run across the bridge and up the stairs. Go around here and then up these stairs. And there could be, yeah, there could be an occultist here, but his aim's pretty bad. Just kind of dodge his Kamehameha, hit the chest, and then run out the back. Then we're gonna head back to the Sentinel Tower. And you definitely can farm like random rats and skeletons potentially there on your way, though you're a much faster farmer at level 6 once you get the true damage node, and once you buy an iron, I would probably just buy an iron sword. They're pretty cheap and they increase your speed massively over this hunk of garbage. So if you want to kill mobs on the way, I would buy the sword for sure, and then maybe consider waiting till 6, but it's fine before then just to hit rats on your way. We have 160 gold right now, so you can definitely afford to buy the iron sword. And now we're actually going to head down to the mausoleum. The mausoleum has a quest that the reward changes depending on who you turn it in. If you turn it into Seymour at the top, he either gives you, it's either light or heal. But if you turn it into the guy at the bottom, he gives you Conjure Fire, which is 100 gold book as opposed to like a 50 gold book. So we want to turn it into him. I'm going to say quest yes, and then just go up here. grab this chest. The door is closed right now, so we have to head into this room and click this lever. Head out. Then we just walk along here to this ladder. Go up and grab the ink over here. And then back down. This is a good spot to kill rats, especially if you have bought that iron sword. So I suspect people, even early on, people will have already ran over here just to have a out of the way farming spot, so it could be crowded. And remember, turn into Aldrich, get that Conjure Fire book. And you can sell your knife you got from the cooking quest to Seymour right there for like 2 gold if you care enough. I'm probably just going to end up dropping it at some point. And we're going to run past the wheat fields and hang a left up this ramp that's going to be up here to get the green book. Then head into the house and get the quest. And we're going to talk to this woman, and we can already turn her quest in. She's another double yeser, so we need to say yes, yes, and then kind of cancel the dialogue, come back, say book, and she gives us the scarf, which I'm going to use over the MP neck for now. MP neck's not doing much for us, but the scarf might help a little bit. And we're going to run back into town, into the caravan, talk to Dewey, and say letter. Turn in that quest. And then we're going to go around to the left here, now that we have the rope, sneak into his house, and then take the book for Sabrina's quest. And then I'm just going to head back and turn in the quest for the watch. The watch is very useful because there's a lot of events in Apogea that happen at specific times. Specifically the wizard hat, which we need to do right before midnight, and the night market, which has to be done at 1 AM, so they line up pretty well. The wizard hat and night market aren't too important to do like very quickly, especially if you're not going mage. If you're not trying to go mage at like level 6, you can just really do the wizard hat anytime you happen to be around in the caravan area around midnight. But for the video, I'm just gonna try to fit it into the normal route. And we're heading out the back way here, just down this ramp and over this way. Down the rope and back into Brazil. I might hit up the depot real quick and throw a bunch of this stuff in there. And that should be good. And now we're going to head to Elsie's mom and the trade goods vendor to buy a crowbar off him and turn in the quests. So talk to Wolfram, say trade, put in your gold, buy the crowbar. Come over to Lurleen, say Hester and Elsie. And then she's going to point us to this bar over here to her husband, so we're just going to go downstairs and talk to him. And we're just going to say Elsie. Then we just run across the street here to his friend Jacques. And you're going to say White Rat. And then head into the sewer that's downstairs, or just around the corner of his house. Down here, and then head towards the south side. You can kill some rats while you're down here, if it's not massively contested. And there will kind of be some giant rats and viscid goblins down here that are likely not cleared, so they'll probably jump at you, but pretty easy to dodge as long as you're just kind of moving around. And here we're just going through the sewers. Get the stuffed white rat from the chest, and then we're just heading back. Up these stairs and then back to the rope we came down on. Out of the sewers and back to Jacques. I'm gonna say White Rat. He's gonna point us to above the bar to Benedict. So we're gonna come over here. And it's up here. We say White Rat and then Razabar. And then we're heading to Razabar himself to talk to him. And then we're just going to say White Rat to Razabar, and he's going to tell us to go to Ulrich. And a lot of my runs that I kind of start during midday or so, closer to night, I feel like now is about the time when it starts becoming night. I think right now I have a ton of time. Yeah, so I'm just going to progress the White Rat questline as long as I can until it's night. It being night doesn't really matter normally, because I'm only doing it for the wizard hat, and you can just do that later, but I'm gonna make sure to catch it on the first night of the run. But otherwise you can just do this quest line until you have to leave, or until it becomes night and the vendors despawn. And we say White Rat to him, and we're gonna head over here, and this part can be tricky, the pale goblin part. Let's see if there's any mobs here. There's not, so we're just gonna head up. Normally there's some giant rats here that are gonna hit you. Grab the chest for the kettle helmet and then go back down and click the ladder on the other side of the spiral staircase. And then we're gonna head down here. If there aren't any goblins or potentially even an orc infantry in here, okay, this is actually decent that there's one. Normally there's three. And what you want to do is lure them out here and then take this and get them to jump it up to you. And then we're going to take this guy back to Ulrich. There is a potential, if a lot of people are messing around down there, that there could be an orc infantry. Which in that case, you can kind of do the same process. he does do a jump after his big, like 3x3 AoE. So just kind of do the same thing with him. If you can't get aggro because there's a lot of people down there and he's just decimating things, I mean, God be with you. Just maybe try talk to the Pale Goblin and not get hit. But if this door is shut, you just head down here and there's a switch and there's that Orc Infantry, like I said. And there's one outside that I think can be taken into here as well. So we're just going to talk to the Pale Goblin. We're going to say, Ulrich, treasure a lot soon. And then we're going to leave. If not a lot of people are there, which I doubt, you probably will take a lot of hits from the mobs. And you can just eat one of your food items, probably the stew or something, and just regen health and hang out for a bit. Maybe farm some rats that are in the top area, because they won't contribute much damage to you, so you can just kill them while you regen a little bit. Maybe put some points into HP regen. And now we're gonna go to Razabar. And like I said, I'm just going to progress this as much as possible while we have the time. You can just do it the next morning and insert the night phase I do. At pretty much any step during the White Rat questline, you'll have more than enough time tomorrow. And I'm going to hit up the depot here. You can throw the crowbar in, or just sell it. You won't need it for a bit, if at all, for a while. So I'm just gonna put that in there. And that's definitely something you can resell to a vendor if you're strapped on cash for something as well. And then I'm gonna go to the bar. Talk to Sigurd and finish this part of the White Rats. Rat. He tells us to head to Wilfred. And we're going to make a little pass over here to Seraphina and turn that quest in. Say a letter. And then head around here to progress her part of the quest, get this bag from the chest. And now we're just going to head to Wilfred. The next part of that quest is to turn into the Sentinel Tower, and we get a decent pair of leather legs. Though we will actually be getting the brass legs pretty quickly. The minimum level for the brass legs quest is actually level 5, and it's honestly not too dangerous. So say Elsie to Wilfred. He gives you 200 gold to buy 10 roses with. There is a potential that you could pause the quest line here and kind of use this as a loan if you want to like buy an item ahead of time. If you see something like really interesting that someone has, you'll likely probably have the most gold at this point, so you could definitely put it towards that and then just continue the quest line later when you've grinded up the extra gold you need to buy these roses. So that is a potential strat. I mean, if you see like a really good weapon someone's dropped and they're willing to sell it for cheap because no one has anything, then hey, Yeah, we're just gonna say trade. Buy 10 roses. The downside of delaying it is you will be delaying quite a lot of XP, and I believe you get more than 200 gold. It's close anyways, so could be something to consider. And I'm just gonna go to Wilfred and say Elsie. And then one more time to Elsie and back to Wilfred. It is a lot of running around, but I think this quest is worth doing. Unlock some useful vendors, a bunch of XP and gold. And it's totally fine to have died a couple times. We're like sort of ahead of schedule on XP. Like I said, this quest line when you turn it in would make you go all the way from no XP 5 to 6. So dying a couple times is totally fine. We're just gonna talk to Elsie and say delivery. And then back to Wilfred one last time. Take a look at the time. Still 8 PM, we're fine. I'm gonna put this bag in my bank. And I would say if you do end up dying, you might be tempted to turn in the Sabrina quest while you're over there, but there's 1 or 2 more times we're basically guaranteed going to die. The Blue Orb quest and potentially the Brass Legs and the Magic Ring. And if you put off turning, since we know we're gonna die, if you put off turning in some of the quests, then you are losing less % of that quest XP that you would be getting. And we just say Elsie and leave. And now we're gonna head to the caravan. Since we are so early, I'm gonna buy an iron sword from the weapon vendor in the caravan and probably grind some while we wait for it to get to midnight. And you can also pick up the shovel in either town or the caravan. Around this point, there is a very good early on skeleton farm spot up here that could be a little less likely to be packed since you have to buy a shovel. And then it's just right up here. You go down there, and there's a lot of skeletons. We might even see what's up down there right now because we have quite a lot of time. And we're just going to make our way into the caravan. Talk to Opal, buy the weapon. And then it's only, I think it's 45 in town, but I'll just spend a little extra to get it now. And then we can talk to Esther over here. Say Lurleen. He gives us some health potions that we can use if we're in trouble. And now I'm just going to head to the Sentinel Tower and turn that quest in. We'll get some leather legs that will help us be a little more tanky, but we are going to go for the brass legs right after the next time we die. So, not too big of a deal, but still fun to pick up. We're going to say letter. And we are 6 just in time to go for the true damage traits. Just go all the one in each all the way up to Unnatural Flow. And now our farm speed has increased quite a lot. I'm gonna head back to the caravan. I'm gonna go ahead and buy the shovel while I'm there and go down that one area. And we also need the shovel anyways before we get the blue orb. Or, yeah, before we get the blue orb, because after we die for the blue orb is probably when we'll go for the brass legs, and you do need a shovel for that. And just buy it from Hester. And now we're just gonna farm some mobs until it's a little closer to midnight. It's actually 11:20, so I'm gonna path back towards the caravan. You can kill these walking mushrooms, the walking Beladuses. However, they do a lot of damage on their AoE, so you kind of need to have learned their attack pattern. But it's very easy once you kind of get it down. And then we're just gonna kind of stay near Zebulon. Maybe there's some rats over here. Looks like they've been farmed up. So we'll just go ahead and talk to Zebulon. What you do here, you just talk to him, you say quest 5 times. And he is going to teleport you to the tower. And we're going to get the MAGE hat. Now you can just get out of here by dashing twice, but at this level, dash is still kind of a hard ask. You need to probably use some stat resets to put points into ability and max mana, so you can actually afford to dash, and then you're going to need to eat some food to regen, probably even put some points into mana regen, or bring the pewter neck and equip it. And you'll have to wait for a bit for mana to regen and then dash again. But I'm not too interested in doing a stat point reset. So I'm just going to wait for Zebulon. He TP's here at midnight. And you just talk to him and say sorry and yes. And he's going to teleport you to the Sentinel Tower. And we are just going to head to the night market to go ahead and unlock that. It costs 30 gold. So if you don't have it, don't sweat it. It's just nice to unlock, get it out of the way. Just if you're curious later on, you don't have to wait until 1 a.m. for the guy to appear and for you to pay the fee. We're just gonna walk past the wheat fields again. Kill a couple of rats on our way. Keep heading this way. Go across the bridge, and we're just gonna skip going up there and kind of wrap around this way along this little ledge here, and then turn down here into the night market. And it's just a little bit until the guy appears here. And it's 1 a.m. and the hooded figure is here. We're just gonna say key, yes. Takes our 30 gold, and now we can access the night market whenever we want. Osrid sells quest items for kind of a expensive price. And then Tim sells the actual night market items. They have I believe a random price. I'm not exactly sure how the ranges are. But I don't think we're too interested actually in buying much from here, but it's kind of something to keep an eye on. I think there is maybe a couple items that if you see and happen to be cheap, you can try buying them, and then if you just don't have enough gold, he doesn't sell it to you. We're just gonna take the lever out. And sometimes there could be a raid going on around this point. We're just gonna head back to town. And kill some stuff on the way. Few bandits I might be interested in using some food. Gonna wait for a regen tick. He died. Oh, and this huntsman might actually kill us. Hey, it is what it is. Sometimes you push too far in Apogea and you die, but it's no big deal. We are still ahead of schedule. And what we're going to do is go get the blue orb. So we're going to head out the little gate here at the west side of this capital. This is the same way we went to Suicide at the Bandit Tower. Can also kill some stuff here. A plus side about hitting 6 and de-leveling is I don't believe you lose the trait point. It definitely doesn't unspec it from you. Yeah, and I saw the 4 true damage, so. And we're just gonna head south here to this rope. Take it up. And then here's the boat. Likely it won't be cleared, so it is a potential to take a lot of hits here. I can remember my way back on. So we need to go down here and get the key, then head back up, go across this rock, and then up to the crow's nest. And there is a wheel of cheese that I'll just go ahead and eat and regen some food to show. There's a wheel of cheese if we head in here that is very good food. You can either cut it up into slices for grilled cheese or just sell it. A lot of people need wheels of cheese for certain quests, so they can definitely be sold for likely more than the cheese is worth. Alright, and this time we're gonna go here and click this one into the water. I've never seen them jump into the water, so I believe you're safe from them as soon as you get here. We're just gonna light this up. So down here is a cube of doom, as you can see, and we're just gonna run by that. And there's another section that is likely locked when you come down here. It could be open right now, so we're gonna see. And it's not open, so this is likely what you'll encounter. And it is possible to not get hit here, especially if you kind of run up more up this side and then circle around. But the way back is kind of difficult anyway, so it's fine. It's totally fine just to plan on dying here. Which we got meleeed by the cube once, but we now have the blue orb in our bank, and we can die. And now we're actually going to head to the Minotaur and the leather chest piece. And actually right now we're gonna go and turn in the quest and get the brass legs as well. So we're just gonna wrap around here. She's not here yet. What time is it? I actually believe she gets here at 4 AM, so let's kill some stuff. And here she is at 4 AM. And we just say quest. Alright. And here, there's going to be a lot of things that jump at us, but a lot of them miss. So this honestly isn't too dangerous of an area, I find. And, you know, I'll go ahead and level up. No, we are likely going to lose this level again, but no big deal. So we're gonna get the key from this chest, and then down here we'll probably be running a lot, so we're just gonna go down and then just run through the tunnel until we get to the other dig site. And yeah, just be moving as soon as you run through there. I think we hit that, and we did die, but we're just gonna run back. It's fine. Definitely worth doing at 5, in my opinion, even if you die once or twice. Because of how the XP penalty works, we're going to be losing less overall XP, even though losing a level sucks. We're losing less overall XP than if we did this later and died. And gonna take that, run along here, go past that, and click the dig. And then just run down here, click that chest. And you might be able to make it out. Ah, they kind of body blocked me, but the way out's right there. So now we have the brass legs. They went to our bank. And now we're gonna head to the Minotaur and the tower with the leather chests. I'm gonna stop by the depot while I'm here. But honestly, if you make it to the cave troll part without getting hit too many times, the cave troll part is very easy because they're facing you and they pretty much always do a dash attack through you. So a lot of times in the cave troll part, you just won't even get hit. But I just kind of had my camera in an unfortunate angle there and couldn't click the rope upwards. So just put a bunch of junk in there. Won't really need the shovel, so I'll throw that in there, but it's not too bad to keep it on you. Now we're just gonna head to the Minotaur. And the Minotaur, you're very unlikely to die, in my opinion. It's pretty predictable, and you can deal with his positioning pretty easily. The tower, on the other hand, can be more of a pain if no one's in there, which likely won't be the case on when the game comes out or another playtest. A lot of people will probably be congregating around that tower around now to get this armor. It's a pretty good chest piece, and I don't think you actually replace it until the brass, and actually I forgot to get the brass legs, but it's fine. You don't replace it until the brass chest piece at, I believe it's now level 15 to get that one, so a lot of people will want this. And we should go down to these little 3 islands to this little rope across. And what you want to do when you're here is kind of first check if the room is actually open. Which it looks like someone's killing the Minotaur down here. And the room was open to begin with. If the room's not open, the first thing you want to do is actually go back here and see if this is open. This is closed. So if the prison door was closed, what you'll have to do now is come over to this pyramid. And if the Minotaur is loose and chasing you, you just want to kind of run him over here and then TP out and then do a circle around and come back. But to open that first door, you come back here, click this, and then you go back to that door and open that. I'm going to leave it shut so people don't accidentally click it, and maybe they'll notice it's open. So then we can just head right over here to the tower to get the leather chest, and we're gonna kind of see. This will probably be impossible for us right now, just because no one's in there, all the mobs are spawned. The ladder up to the top floor is combat locked, so you can't go up it if you're in combat, which it is possible to kite all these mobs in a fashion where you can get out of combat in a minute, but it's very difficult because of how they sometimes stop and the skeleton's very slow. Let's see, maybe if I can get the bandit over here. Oh, someone is actually up there. So let's take a little run at it. If we die, it's fine. So we will get hit by this bandit, almost guaranteed. So we could just see if someone's up here. There's someone up here, so I'm actually gonna just help them kill some stuff. And maybe I can get out of combat. Go ahead and eat. Use a potion. Alright, and then this is the ladder that you can't go up if you're in combat. And the thug did just spawn. And apparently I'm still technically in combat with something. There we go. And then you're just gonna run over this way, maybe kite some stuff around if you have to. Grab the chest, click this to teleport out. And we have the chest. Now we're going to head back into town and turn in the White Rat quest. It's going to put us I think it'll put us quite a bit into level 6. So I'll just go through the west gate. Alright, head to Wilfred. Pipe Elsie, and that guy's third into level 6. So looking pretty good. You can either save this book or sell it. I'm probably just going to sell it. You do want 1,000 gold plus some change at around level 10 to make a trip through the desert and get the velvet pouch, which is a very good bag for us. And he doesn't buy this one. I think it's the vendor in the house or Zebulon that will buy this one, I believe. And then we have one last item left to kind of complete our mage items. And that's the magic ring in the building near the caravan. It can be a pretty deadly area, especially if the mushrooms on the bottom floor are kind of just wandering around because other people are in there. But we should be able to manage. We have one potion left. Which normally you don't have to use this many potions. I just kind of misplayed a lot and got hit. So we're just going to go through the quick route to the caravan back here. And then the building's just right up here. The way I prefer to approach this building, and actually we do need the shovel. I'm actually going to look at something. I heard there's a depot in the night market now. So maybe we can just wrap around here. Let's see, do we see any depot chests? Okay, so if you are in that area and you need to use the depot, there's one back here. Pretty nice change. The object is apparently too heavy. Some points in the capacity. And in a normal run, like when the game comes out, definitely just like at this point be killing any like rats and skeletons and bandits you see on the way. Good XP, so might as well kill them. And then, so this building, the way I like to approach it is kind of have my camera moved like this. We're going to be running to a ladder, going down the ladder, and there'll be a right in front of our character on this side. When we go down the ladder, there's going to be a hole to go down, and then we'll see where the other mushrooms are placed. This is good. Looks like it's locked, and in fact, someone's killing it. When you TP down here, you want to run, just be holding S, and run down the long side. You kind of get stuck on these sides. And then since this door is locked, what you do is you come over here to this lever, and you would open it. Well, I closed it. You would open it, and they'll rush in, and you just kind of run by them. They won't really kill you at this level, and you're going to grab the iron ingot and the key. And then it's totally fine to die here. That's usually the result after you get the iron ingot and key. But since someone was killing it, or if someone's distracting it while you're down there, which could be likely, we can go out with this lever. I don't believe I can open this, yeah. We're gonna go out with this lever here. And then we're gonna head back to the house. Pass this stuff just through the door, open the chest, come back, and we are pretty much done here. I'm just gonna head back to town, kind of show what the mage gear would look like once we're past 10 and are deciding to be a mage. I usually farm Esquire to 11 or 12 or so, just on bandit, skeletons, and rats. Skeletons make you honestly a decent amount of money just from the bucklers and swords, and rats will give you a lot of cheese. Bandits will give you a lot of bread. So pretty good mobs to kill early on. So our mage setup, and you're going to need to buy a staff from Zebulon, but our mage setup would look something like this. Let's pretend we have the staff. So we'd still use both as armor. We'd pick up some boots wherever we can, just some leather boots. And we would have the wooden staff, which you buy from Zebulon for 200 gold. And then to actually become a mage, talk to Rubius and say you want to learn magic, and he'll point you towards the west tower, and you're going to go to this little area here, which will let you go inside and go up the wall and follow the wall to the west tower. The guy might not be in there when you first arrive. Sometimes he's not there, but just wait a little bit, and it costs 100 gold to become a mage. And then after you buy that, you're probably 11 or 12. I would make the trip through the desert with your 100k. You're just going to go through this area, and you can kind of farm. I would recommend farming this area while 10 or 11 to just kind of get familiar with it. After you become a mage, you can definitely farm this area and kind of figure out the way through it, but you'll go through this little opening here and then run all the way to the town. And in the town, there's a vendor that sells the velvet pouch for 1k. And then you're pretty cruising from 12. You should be able to kill stuff very quickly. If you need food, just buy bread and fish from vendors and make sandwiches. Cook the fish and then just make a sandwich as normal. And yeah, you're pretty much cruising from there. One last quest line. I think almost the only other quest line you want to do pre-10 is you're going to go to the Nordha area. You'll already have a quest for Baldur, so you'll go to this tower and talk to Baldur and get his quest. And you'll go to this lodge and talk to Fergus and get his quest. You'll go to this big house over here with the hedge maze, and there are some levers you have to pull to open doors, and your ultimate goal is for the end door over here. You're gonna walk in and go to the right and get something from a chest. If you're looking for more of a guide on that, like I had said earlier, I would watch Toddfather's routing video where he does this. And then you're gonna run further along to the east up to this area, and there's a little rope bridge here that's gonna take you around this building. You're gonna take a ladder up and then go to the east. It could be locked, in which case you have to pull a lever in this other house. But then once you get in here, you're gonna be talking to an NPC. He's going to teleport you down to a fight with Talk. Pretty easy fight. You may have to use some food, but I doubt it as long as you dodge his kind of lunge ability. And then you're going to turn those in, and you're going to get the Vanguard shield, which is a pretty nice HP and MP regen shield, which we'll probably use for a little bit while Squire leveling. And then after that, you just level to 10 to 12, become a mage, go to the desert, farm there, buy the velvet pouch, and then have a smooth cruise from there. And that's it for the quick 1 to 6 Squire run. We have pretty good gear set up. You can sell your old gear for even more gold once you become a mage. If you're looking for a better routing video, I definitely recommend Toddfather, and his routing guide is Knight 1 to 10. And if you're looking for more high-end mage gameplay and more gearing and trait tips, I would watch Ode to Whirl. Definitely extremely smart guy. His videos are really good. He has a great tips and tricks video that I would watch to kind of like fill in a lot of the mage blanks that you might have. And I'll leave a link to both of them. But other than that, thanks for watching. Take it easy.